our vibration, having a gratitude in our hearts, and getting prepared to listen to the lecture. That's our friend Renato is going to give into us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, today we have a very interesting topic. It's a topic that the title is Service Beyond Profit, the Path of a Medium. So today we're going to be talking about mediumship. What is a medium? Medium is a person that, because their sensibility has been or can be enhanced, to start noticing the spiritual realm. And I have to say that we live in a world where our Father's love can be sensed always. And that is that we are born with gifts. This season is the season of the gifts, where we remember the birth of Jesus, which was a beautiful and eternal gift to us from our Father. And with that, we give and we received. Well, I was saying that we were born with gifts. And one of them is that we all have a certain capability to be as a medium, to be able to sense the spiritual world. And it's very interesting because sometimes when I talk about spiritual things to whoever, to my friends or family members, sometimes I do it with a thought that they might say or they might think about me being crazy. So sometimes we do not really feel comfortable talking about the spiritual things with every single one that does not understand. And why is that? Because sometimes we start judging things that we ignored. And the spiritual things, there's some of the things that not most people get their interest in. So this mediumship, we receive it as a gift from God. So we all have a little bit of mediumship when we are born. But why do we have this gift? Because God, being the supreme divinity, and we are part of His creation, we're bringing into our lives part of His divine aspects that He gives to us. Now, God wants to bring light to every single one of us. If we take in consideration just our planet, this world, we can say that the inhabitants of this world, it's about 8 to 10 billion people living in the earth, plus or minus. And then if we think about how many spirits there are in the spiritual realm, it's a lot more, maybe 4 or 5 times fold more. So the opportunity that we can get to serve those in the spiritual realm is always there. That's the reason why we need to prepare ourselves to start developing our mediumship. It says here that mediumship is not a privilege, but can be found everywhere. And this is the thing that the main aspect of this topic. It says, therefore, to charge for it would be to divert it from its providential goal. There's certain things that happens. Mediumship can be faked or can be reproduced very easily, or can be staged very easily. Like when we go to the theater, we see, and these actors, they will make us believe what they're doing or what they're saying, and we even cry. Same thing with mediumship. And we have to be very careful when people talks about that your fortune, that your past life, or your present life, and they will know that things that you're supposed to know can be easily reproduced. So we have to be very careful. And another thing that we have to be very careful is the fact that a good medium will not charge a single penny of what it does. Mediumship is a service because we want to follow Jesus' steps. He came to love, to teach, and to serve. And mediumship is a service. Following his steps, we are serving. We can service not only the living people, but also the people in the spiritual realm. We know now that they're surrounding us and they're here with us. Even though we cannot see them, we can sense them. And it is a blessing, really, that to count on a good medium in order for us to communicate with them. And we say that when we do mediumship, we do not call upon any specific spirit. And why we don't do that? Because we don't have the certainty of that the spirit that is coming is the one that it's being called for. So we have to be careful with that area, because mediumship is not really controlled by us. Our pineal gland, that is in charge of the psychic abilities of each person, is not the one that controls the communication or the encounter with the spiritual realm. It is our mentors and guides. The good spirits, those are the one in charge of that communication. So we need to trust them first, not the medium, and sometimes not even the spirit that is coming to us. So that being said, we regard as a desecration to evoke with money the beings we respect or who are dear to us. So I've heard the expression before, but someone says, well, if you bring me $2,000, I can let you talk to your son that died some time ago. that would be a fake, completely. How is it a divine work that is done can be used for profit charges to charge for? I heard a medium said once, she said, the gift that I have, that I received from God, I receive it for free, so I shouldn't charge for. It didn't cost me anything. Why should I charge? Sometimes we can get in contact with frivolous spirits that they are lying, and sometimes they're mischievous. And that's all the low order spirits that they're really to let us know that they're there, but they're just to disrupt sometimes the communications. Now, the first condition for gaining the benevolence of good spirits is humility, dedication, self-denial, and the most absolute moral and material disinterest without interest, especially monetary interest. Now, if we talk about if a medium is poor or a person is poor, they may say, well, I cannot really study, I cannot really develop my abilities because I have no money. Well, that's not something that we have to take in consideration, because we know that when we serve, we'll be taken care of. We may not get a Cadillac, but we'll get something that can transport us. So those are the conditions for gaining the benevolence from good spirits. Now, mediumship cannot be turned into a profession. I cannot say, I'm the best, I'm the president of mediumship. Or I cannot say, I'm the greatest. That doesn't regulate from a school or anything else like that. So it is not a profession. It only exists by the help of the spirits. Without the spirits or the help of the spirits, there is no mediumship whatsoever. So it's not a condition that we control. It's the condition that they do control. Now, to exploit mediumship is therefore to attempt to have control over something of which one is really no master at all. And to affirm the contrary would be to deceive the one who pays. Because when we put in consideration money in transactions and deals, we are trying to say, well, I'm going to guarantee somehow that the results will be good. In mediumship, it doesn't, because we do not control that. So I cannot say, I want to charge you this much, and I guarantee that this is going to happen. It will be just thinking about taking advantage of people. And that cannot be considered like that, a true mediumship. And to begin with, mediumship is not really popular. There are not too many mediums that they're working, that are serving. I have read that 90% of good mediums, they fail. their mission, because mediumship is a mission. If you do want to know what kind of mission you have come to do in this earth, besides being a parent, besides being a daughter or son, whatever you came here, another thing is that you come with mediumship. So how do I know if I'm a medium or I'm not? Just when you meditate, you start sensing. There will be signals to you that you start sensing the spiritual realm. And it can be manifested in different ways. Each person will have different situations where they can see and sense that. In my experience, if you ask me, how many spirits have you seen? I can say probably 4 or 5 only. And I have only see them with my eyes closed. So how's that possible, to see things with your eyes closed? Exactly the same thing happens when you do see things when you're dreaming. When you're dreaming, you're not really using your eyes, right? Because most of the time your eyes are closed. So how can you see things when you're sleeping? Or a sleepwalker, how can he or she can start walking, not tripping or doing functions with their eyes closed? So that's something to take in consideration. Sometimes people, they take advantage of supposedly mediumship and start taking advantage because superstitions. Ignorance will make you believe things that they do not exist. On the other hand, if you know and you study things, then you can start realizing exactly what it's all about, mediumship. Not everybody, not all religions, they accept mediumship. As the same thing, as the same token, so many religions, they do not accept reincarnation. Going a little bit deeper, mediumship is a holy thing which must be practiced holily with a religious sentiment. If there is one kind of mediumship which requires this condition, even more absolutely, is healing. And that's something amazing. Can a medium be capable of do healing to another person? Yes. But remember, it's not the medium that is doing the healing. It's our guides and mentors that they're doing that procedure, not us. If I have give passes to someone and that person starts feeling better, it wasn't me. It was the divine working with me or through me. And this is for my friends. It says, doctors give the fruit of their studies, which they carry out often at the cost of painful sacrifices. Whereas magnetizers give their own fluid. What? What do you mean I give my own fluid? What kind of fluid are you talking about? It's something deep, that fluid that they're talking about here. Something that not everybody realizes, but everybody can use it. We are born with energy. We produce energy, it's vibrating everywhere. Our mind can create that energy and can travel far. A communication between human beings is through that. Through our way of thinking, we communicate and we're always in contact with friends, with family. And if we are magnetizer, we give out our own energy, our own fluid, magnetic fluid to others. And most of the time, or often, mediums, they do the service, often even with their own health. So we need to be healthy, actually, to do the work. Because if you're not feeling good, you cannot just really come and start giving your own fluid to someone that needs that, because you're not capable 100% to do that. And what is this type of fluid? Well, healing mediums simply transmit their salutary fluids of good spirits and therefore have no right to charge for it. Now comes the big word, Jesus. And his apostles, though poor, never charged for the cures they operated. So he gave us a good example. When you're giving out your capabilities, your divine capabilities to somebody else, you're doing their work through you. So it's not really for your own benefit, it's for the benefit of others without expecting anything for yourself. So mediumship and service has to be done free of charge, because it didn't cost you anything. If somebody really doesn't have the resources to live comfortably, I assure you they will be taken care of. Through my life, I've been exposed to several people that they claim to have mediumship. Some of them they did, some of them they don't. But I always doubt when somebody try to charge me money for the service they do. So that's the main thing that you have to take in consideration. If there's money involved, then it becomes a business. And who's going to guarantee the results? If you go to a car place and buy a car and they charge you money for that, you expect to have a good car, to be able to drive it good and everything. So same thing with mediumship. That's the reason we do not charge, because we are not really doing the work. We're just vehicles. Even though if we are a doctor, where did we get the opportunity to serve others if it is not coming from God? I was showing you earlier one of my friends that he's so brilliant surgeon. And I told him it's not really us that cures people. It's Jesus through us, helping his own children. So my friends, I would recommend to every single one that wants to get interested in mediumship, just see yourselves, you're conscious. And how good do you want to serve? And with this, I mean that I remember once when my daughter, she was going to take classes of a flute. And says, Dad, I need a flute for my school. So I took it to the musical instrument place, and the guy, he was there, and so you start looking at different instruments there, and I saw on the corner, I saw a guitar. It was a beautiful guitar. The aspect of the guitar caught my attention completely. And I asked the guy, how much that guitar cost? It was funny because he didn't even grab the guitar. He asked me, how serious are you to play guitar? My attention. I was trying to buy it because it looked good, not because I wanted to learn. Because I tell you, if you're not born with the talent of playing an instrument, it's gonna take you hard. I was trying to learn piano. I didn't have the time. You have to, in order for you to play piano somewhat good, you have to at least play it for 5 hours every single day. Just to let this hand do things which were at the same time the other one is doing different thing, that's a skill, completely. Guitar is the same thing. So all the instruments, they have very, very difficult to learn. Plus, you have to like to learn how to play it. Because I like to play guitar, but I never good at it because first I couldn't sing at the same time playing. So that was my first problem. Then my voice is not acquainted to do the notes accordingly in tune with it. So it's a harmony that we need in order for us to play an instrument. Same thing with mediumship. It has to be a harmony between yourself and the good spirits. Now, if you're really interested in mediumship, how interested are you? How serious are you to practice mediumship? You know it's going to be a service that will give you a lot of happiness. But same thing when you play an instrument, it's going to take you part of yourself to do that. You need dedication. Sometimes you may say, like me, I didn't want to even touch the guitar because I couldn't even tune the guitar. Let's start with that. My ears are not acquainted to that yet. I've seen people just get it, boom, boom, boom. 3 seconds is already tuned. So same thing, we have to prepare. And we have to prepare good when we do mediumship because remember, the work is from those that they're in the spiritual realm, the good spirits. They do their preparation and our preparation as well in order for us to do the the mediumship in the right way. Same thing happens. I could not do an appendectomy if I didn't go through medical school, do my internship, then a residency in surgery in order for me to operate someone. So it takes dedication. And my friends, it is my testimony that mediumship has brought to me and to my family happiness that I never really deserved. But here we are. We're still working, we're still preparing, we're still learning. It is my pleasure for me to speak about mediumship today in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you.